new agent, from licensing to quoting to looking at status of their cases, and really how to use the two websites as a tool to become more productive and do more business and make more money. So where I'm going to start with is let's assume everybody knows how to sign into their website and they're in their back office and they can see their back office name here. In my case, it's called Bob Tester. It's a very creative name. And we're going to start with licensing. If you'll notice in your website, you have a bunch of buttons here. These are quick link buttons that allow you to do all kinds of different things. I'm going to go through several. I'm not going to touch on all of them, but I encourage everybody to get in their back office and click on each one of these things and see what it does, just so you're familiar with the power of your website. So I want to start with licensing, because if you're new to QS2, you may not have an insurance license. And really, the first thing you want to do is get yourself an insurance license. We cannot pay commissions to people who are not licensed. So you've got to get this done. And you click on the licensing button here, and it kind of gives you some information. We really recommend that associates at a minimum do both a life and a health license, because we're selling both life insurance and health insurance. Those are two top products. You can also get a property and casualty license if you want to get commissions for that, but that's probably of secondary importance to the first two, which is life and health. QS2 has a relationship with AD Banker, and that allows us to have discounts on their online study materials. We don't get discounts on classroom study, but for online study, which most states will accept for most licenses, we can give you a discount. There's an example of the discounts right here. Now the retail price online, $139, we can get it for $89.95. So when you get back here, just click the Begin Enrollment button, and this will bring up the AD Banker website. It's really simple to use. If you're new and you need to get a license, you find your state in here, and I'm just going to select one. I'm going to select California. You hit go, and it shows you the different types of training that are available, the licenses that you may want for life and health license. So here, I'll just show you this so you know what it looks like. So we want to do life and health here, and it shows us we have web courses, we have PAM courses. So there are different ways to do this. Now we know we can get some discounts on the online course, and you click on there, and it'll kind of brings up the details on how to use it. It tells you what the online course includes, and it just shows you how you can sign up. So here's kind of the different things. You add this to your, pick the one that you want to do. This one kind of gives you a course, study material, and some audio stuff as well. Actually, what AD Banker does is kind of nice, is that they give you web videos that you can look at to kind of walk you through different sections of the study material. Once you got that, you just add it to your card here, and then away you go. It'll ask you for a credit card and sign up and all that kind of information. Pretty much like anything else you do on the web. Okay, so that's licensing with AD Banker. Another thing we want to talk about, once you've got your license, we want to talk about contracting. And contracting means that in order to do business with an insurance company, in order to sell life insurance or annuities, you have to have an insurance company appoint you or contract with you to do that. So once you have your license and you have your license number, we have to look at contracting. And an easy way to do that is go here and click on the contracting button. I'll walk you through a couple of things that are important here. First of all, let's come down here and look at some tips. One thing you're going to need to do in order to get contracted with an insurance carrier is to get E&O coverage. And we have kind of a nice button here that takes you to some of our preferred sites to sign up for E&O coverage. And here I'll just click on one of them so we can take a look at that. And this one's called E&O for Less. And look, you can get it for $495 a year. It's pretty inexpensive, but you've got to get E&O insurance along with your license in order to contract with an insurance carrier. Let me get out of this. Okay. Another thing we have on here is very important, is our preferred carrier list. We have preferred life carrier lists for New York and for everywhere else, because New York is special. For those of you who live in New York and write business in New York, you know how special it is. And annuities as well. We have annuity carrier lists and life carrier lists. So I'm going to click on this to point out a couple of things about our preferred carriers. One of the things about them is that on this list, outside of New York, they all advance commissions. And what that means is that the base commission will be advanced generally. It's generally 75% of the annual commission is advanced when you deliver the policy to the client and pick up the delivery requirements, pick up a check. And one of the delivery requirements is automatic bank draft form. So get that information, you pick that up, you get it back, and you can get your commissions advanced. That's why these carriers are marked here in the commission advance column. It all says yes. We have some non-medical underwriting. You can take a look here. Non-medical underwriting is nice because the application process is a lot quicker. Companies like Assurity, like Foresters, they have pretty high non-medical application limits. Electronic application. This is nice because if a carrier has an electronic application, you can submit an application much more quickly than doing a paper app, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, but it just speeds up the process. In most cases, you need to, if you're currently an insurance agent and are appointed by an insurance carrier, in most cases you're going to need to get a release from that carrier or from the appointing agency that you currently have in order to appoint with QS2. That's noted here. If you need to do that, some will allow dual appointment. And then here is another column at the end. It talks about submit appointment prior to application. What that means is that most carriers these days will not appoint you or not finish the appointment process until you submit your first application. So they'll take your information and they'll pend it and they'll finish contracting you once you submit your first application. Some exceptions to that are AGLA. AGLA, you have to get appointed before you submit anything to them. And then some of the other carriers, you can see what states down here on our preferred carriers that you have to become appointed in before you can actually submit business. Okay. Here, I'll show you the New York list, so just so you can see it for those of you on the line in New York. A little bit different. It's a little bit shorter. And then we have our annuity, preferred annuity carriers list for those who want to sell annuities. Okay. Once you've taken a look at this information and you've thought about what carriers you want to get appointed with and where you want to write business, click on the Get Started link here. And this takes you to our electronic contracting system that we use called SureLC. SureLC is a great system because it allows you to just enter your information one time, upload your license, upload your E&O material, and then from there, all you have to do is, once it's set up, there's a little box that will pop up to ask you to select a carrier, and it pulls up a sheet of carriers, and you can just click the ones that you want to appoint with. That's all you have to do anytime you want to appoint with a carrier. So in this case here, this is the first screen, and you have to create an account here. And create an account requires a Social Security number, your last name, email, and a password. Once you've entered that information in here, you can click Add Me, and it takes you through a kind of a step-by-step process of adding all your information and uploading your license and your declaration page. So that's a very important step. Okay, let's come back. So now let's assume we've gotten our license, we've gotten contracted with a carrier. Now we want to get a quote. Well, there are a couple of ways to do that. I want to show you what's on our system here that's kind of nice. We've got quoting for different types of products set up here, and I'm going to focus on life insurance quoting here initially, life and annuities. Well, here again we work with One Resource Group, which is our IMO. They process all our business. They really help us out. They provide great service for us, help us get things done and provide us contracts. So we have some various quoting sheets that you can fill out. We have a standard illustration request form. This is a good one that you can complete. You can complete this and then email it to one of our people here. Blake Barnhart is kind of our go-to guy, but we have other people here as well. You can see their names listed. And you can complete this illustration form, send it to one of these guys, and they'll turn that around to you probably in the next day or so. So you'll have your quote. You can also run quotes for yourself if you want to, and I'll show you how to do that here a little bit later. But these people here are sales team, our dedicated sales team. They're available. Here's their phone numbers, their extension numbers. Here's the main phone number. Here's their extensions. You can call them if you have questions about, what IUL policy is the best. What has the best return? What's give me the two top ones, quote them for me. I want to look at them. I want to compare them. These guys will help you figure out which ones you really want to sell. Down here we've got annuities. Same thing with annuities. Typically with annuities, it's a little bit more involved process. Annuity companies tend to change their products pretty regularly, oftentimes more than once a month. They'll update the products, which means that different products are more competitive, you know, at any given time. If you haven't sold one in a month, maybe a different one is better to do this month. So typically with annuities, I recommend that you call one of our annuity specialists if you want to sell an annuity, explain what you want to do, and they'll recommend different things and send you some quotes to do annuities with, to sell an annuity. Our dedicated processor, it's Ellie Nagel, she's our case manager. She processes applications. We can talk about that a little bit later on here. Okay. Let's look at property and casualty insurance. For those of you who are interested, let's not look there. Let's go here in our property casualty insurance under products. We've set up a property casualty insurance through SME in a way that you don't have to become appointed with any carriers. So as long as you have a license, you can submit for quotes to SME. They'll quote the business for you. They'll help you close it, and you can get paid on it. There's quite a bit of information in the back here, and I'm not going to go through all of it, but there's kind of an overview of how the process works. There's a compensation example in here, and at the bottom there's a membership application. And this application is how you enroll in the property and casualty with SME. You just complete this, you decide what level you want to work at, and the levels are explained in the compensation examples. Pay a monthly fee where you can actually buy up the commission. I'm not going to go into all of that in this discussion, but it's explained in here. And this is really how you contract for property and casualty insurance. Again, with property and casualty insurance, you don't need errors and omission insurance, and you don't have to get appointments with carriers. Okay, let's go back to beginning. Okay, one more thing that I want to show on here is that you got yourself a license, you got yourself appointed with carrier, you're getting quotes. Well, you might want to know how much you're going to get paid. That's a pretty good question. So we have the commission schedule set up here with the carriers that we have through ORG, with the main carriers. You click on this button, and it gives you a username and a password and a place to click. And when I click on this, it gets a little bit small on this particular browser, but I'm going to show you where this is anyway. Okay, so you enter the username and password, and hopefully you do it correctly. Apparently I have not. I'm getting a 2 in there. Okay, let's try that. What this brings up is it takes you to an ORG portal. You click on this button that says Agent Compensation over here, and you'll see it'll bring up a list of insurance carriers. And I'll just go give you one example here. Let's check Allianz. If you want to see what Allianz is going to be paying, the numbers here are percentage of target premium that goes to the grid or goes to the compensation pool. So if you look at Allianz, this is their IUL product. This is the most popular Allianz product that we have. It's Life Pro Plus, very good product. 94.75% of the first year target premium goes to the compensation pool. Allianz also advances commissions. I don't have that set up yet, but we're going to be changing our grid soon. Check your preferred carrier list often because things change on there frequently. Okay, let's go back to our home screen. Okay, so now we've talked about commissions, and the next thing I want to do is I want to go to the ORG website because there are a lot of tools on here that I think that people are not aware of that we can use. One of the things over here that's nice is that they allow you to register on their website. It allows you to access certain things that you can't get to if you don't register. And I recommend that everybody who's going to be doing any insurance business register on the ORG website. You do that by clicking on this button up here in the upper right-hand corner. When you click on it, it just brings up a screen that asks for a bunch of information. You can see here that it is. You have to enter all the starred information in here. And once you do that, hit submit. It's going to come back and tell you that it's accepted the information if you've done it properly. And then you can wait for an email. An email is going to come from one resource group. It's going to give you a username and password. With that username and password, you come up here to log in, and it allows you to if you click on login, prompts you for your username and password. Once you enter that, it essentially gives you the same screen here again, but instead of saying log in, it says log out. That's really the only way you can tell. But it does give you access to a couple of different things that I think you'll find really useful. One of them is looking up your case status, and another is looking at online applications or electronic applications. So let's talk about quoting life insurance through the ORG website. You can actually do this. You don't have to be logged in to do this. But if we want to quote life insurance, we don't want to call the guys. We don't want to go back and forth and send emails and call. We want to do a quote immediately. But you can click on this button here that I pulled up, Life Quotes, and it brings this up. And if you want to run a term quote, there's an engine built into this system that allows you to enter all the information about the client. So you would enter everything in here, come down the bottom and view quotes, and it'll generate quotes on everything. It'll generate all the different term insurance quotes that QS2 is set up with. So you can take a look at all the different quotes and pick out the ones that you're most interested in. Another nice thing here is that for IUL plans, we have something called WinFlex. We have access to this through the ORG website, which is nice because you can sign up through ORG, through the ORG website, and then when you log into ORG, it actually logs into WinFlex. But people that haven't used WinFlex, I'll show you kind of get this going here. See if it'll boot this up. I think it wants you to be logged in to actually do WinFlex. But WinFlex is a proposal system that allows you to access life insurance carriers to do quotes with. It doesn't have every carrier we use, but it has most of the carriers that we use. You have to request from the carrier, and there's a portion inside WinFlex that allows you to request quotes, or request a carrier, then they send you back an email saying we've set that one up for you, set up a specific carrier. Then once the carrier is set up within WinFlex, you can quote it on any of their products and quote it, any time of the day or night in front of a client whenever you want, because it's web-based. So that's a really nice feature for people who want to quote their own insurance illustrations. Okay. Let's look at life insurance applications. So let's say you've got your quotes on and you want to get the application. Well, ORG is more than happy to email you applications, but another thing you can do is just come online here and go into Life Forms, and it brings up a screen that will allow you to essentially pick whatever carrier you want and whatever form you want. So here we can pick an insurance company. I'll use Allianz again, and it'll allow you to pull up new business. So this is allowing you to select new business. Now if they're in Alaska, but we could say we want to sell this product, and it pulls up that Life Pro product, and this will actually download the application. And here it is right here. Here's all the application materials that you need in order to sell that product. You can simply just click on these, print them out, download them, do whatever you want with them. So this is really a handy feature. All the forms are right here at your fingertips. If you don't want to use a paper app, in some cases you have to use a paper app. The IUL applications tend to be kind of complex. They tend to be long, and the carriers are not accepting electronic applications. But for a lot of other things, a lot of other products, particularly term insurance, return of premium term, we have electronic applications. Those are available here at ORG Express. So just click on ORG Express, and you can see it pulls up different electronic applications. This IGO function you have to be logged in to use, but this allows you to use electronic applications for all of these carriers. You can see that through here. This is something that ORG provides to us. Some of the carriers have their own electronic application processes. You can see the ones listed here. I like American General's electronic application. I think they have a really good system that works really well. And again, the thing that I like about electronic applications is that you can be sitting in front of your client, just have an internet connection with your iPad or your computer, and bring the screen up, and you can fill out an application right there, and it goes directly to the carrier. And the carrier will actually order the exams and order whatever they need, and really it streamlines the process. You'll get your policies issued much more quickly if you could use an electronic application. Now I realize it's not available for all products, but for products that they are available for, I'd really encourage people to use them as much as they can. Okay, let's go back to the home screen for One Resource Group here. One more thing I want to point out here is this status button. This, you go here once you're logged in, and I'm not logged in on the system, so it's not going to show everything, but when you click on the status button, it brings you to a set of screens that allow you to look at the status of all your submitted applications. What this means is that if you submit an application to One Resource Group, everything will be in back. There's a listing of all your policies, all the carriers that you have policies set up for. When you click on the policy, it will show you information in detail about what's going on with that policy. It will show you what the case manager, what has gone out to the insurance company, what has come back to the case manager. All communications between the case manager, ORG, and the insurance company are listed for that policy, so you can keep really close tabs on what's going on with all of your insurance policies that you're working on. I would encourage everybody to have access, create access, and all you got to do is register for access. And then they send you the password, like I said before. It takes about 24 to 48 hours for them to connect your policies that your applications that you submitted to your ID. But once those are connected, then you have immediate access to them at all times. And, I encourage you to go in there daily and just check and see what's going on. If it looks like something's getting stuck, it's not getting out of there, I would, communicate with your case manager. You can send them an email or you can call them. Usually email's faster because they get a lot of phone calls. But I would encourage you to just use this as a way to stay on top of the policies, particularly if the carrier has decided to order an attending physician statement. Attending physician statements are essentially medical records from the doctor of your client. Your client has, disclosed a medical condition that the insurance carrier wants some more information about, so they can make a decision on, the premium to charge for coverage, or if they want to cover them at all. So they'll request medical records. If you see that an APS has been requested, I would encourage you to call the client and say, hey, the insurance carrier wants medical records. Could you call your doctor and make sure they send those records? Because often the doctor's offices will kind of back burner those requests because they're pretty busy. So that's just something to look at on the status here. Let's look at one more thing here. There's submitting business that I had skipped. And this is really pretty straightforward. It tells you how to submit business for life insurance, for annuities. For annuities, I'll just start there because typically if you're submitting annuities, you're working with the annuity people. Right here, it just gives you the address. Typically, you're going to want to overnight that stuff. On annuities, they often want original signatures, particularly if you're moving money from one place. Maybe it's coming out of another annuity, or it's coming out of a IRA or something like that. They're going to want original signatures. So, and checks definitely have to be sent. So, with annuities, typically you got to send paper. With life insurance, you don't have to do that. Life insurance applications can all be done electronically. You don't have to send paper apps. So, unless you're sending a check, you don't really have to send anything in with the application. So again, here's some tips. You want to make sure you complete the paper application. Go through it carefully. Make sure you've got everything filled out. Make sure there are signatures everywhere that a signature is requested from the client and from yourself, the agent. Typically, they're going to want a paramed exam in almost all cases. So we have some non-medical that I showed before that you don't have to worry about this stuff. But typically, a paramed exam is going to be needed. Now, or you will order a paramed exam, or you can order it yourself. If you want to order your own paramed exam, make sure you use a major company like EMSI and request a copy of that exam so that you can get it, keep it with the application, and even send it in to ORG with that application if you want, so they get it faster. They can forward to the carrier faster. It just speeds the process up. Again, here is the address if you want to mail overnight the application. And I would say the only reason you would want to do that is if you're submitting a check with the application. Otherwise, fax it or just submit it via email. So you can just copy it and just submit it electronically, get them working on it, unless you have a check up front. Okay. All right, Randy, Randy and Jim, that's all I've got. This is pretty much, I've gone through everything. Do you guys have any questions? Anything come up that you'd like me to explain a little bit further?
No, Well, Mike, I think you did a great job giving them a very good overview of exactly what needs to take place. So I think you did a fantastic job. I appreciate your help on this today.
No problem.
Well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up then, Mike. I thank everyone for attending this training today and look forward to be posted in your back office. Everyone have a great day.